Alright, friends. Hope that you are having a lovely day. Just wanted to go over a few little tricks when it comes to that crazy looking shoulder stand, or not shoulder stand, chin stand. I found that the more playful that I become with my own practice, the more that I figure out new ways of getting into things that I might not have thought of in the first place, but once you start feeling it in your body, it happens. How might that happen in life? Something to think about. So for a chin stand, lots of different ways that I like to play with it, building up to it through vinyasas, lowering down with one leg forward, or one leg lifted. I'll show you an example. It's a really great exercise to use to help get into this pose more and more. So as you're going through your vinyasas, you're in downward facing dog. Right leg lifts, come forward, lower down, three-pointed chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, same thing, other side, left leg, come forward, lower down. So then you keep doing that over and over again, and taking your time when you're doing it. So right leg lifts, come forward, maybe float the legs a little bit, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So as you're flowing through your vinyasas, just doing that one leg extension and lowering down can be super helpful. I'm trying to get a good angle for you guys. Another way that I find helpful to transition into that shape that gives you more of a compact way to get into it. If you have the ability to get into lotus position, you often see this transition a lot in Ashtanga yoga. So from your lotus position, you're seated, and then coming forward, finding your chaturanga arms, and then you have these little pockets right above your hip points. So you come forward, you're starting to support yourself on your elbows, find those little pockets, lift the legs, unravel, and then maybe find it that way. So another way for you to play with it there. Another really great trick that I learned using the blocks, please be very, very careful if you choose to experiment with this, remembering that the blocks have different heights. But I really found this very, very helpful. So if you have yoga blocks, bringing them about shoulder distance apart, and then you're going to bring your middle fingers pointing right at the blocks. So my hands are, again, about shoulder distance apart, and I'm going to bring the soft part of my shoulder right onto the block, so not necessarily the bony part, and I'm not going to be resting on my chin, okay? So my shoulders come to the mat, or to the blocks, and then I come up on my tippy toes and I walk forward. My chin is still not touching the mat. Maybe lift one leg here. Maybe feel what it feels like to lift the other leg. And then maybe start to lift a leg, pressing your palms gently into the mat. It's more about stacking your joints. Maybe start to hover here. Then maybe the other leg lifts. Making sure that you continue to hug your elbows in, shoulder distance apart. So then you can hang out here and really feel that feeling of chin stand, because when you're in chin stand, you're not really resting weight on your chin. It's just like headstand, where you could actually lift your head off of the mat. In chin stand, you can actually lift your chin away from the mat. So when you come into it, same type of thing, pretending those blocks are there, come forward. Whoop, there's the door. So my chin is actually barely touching the ground. So, a few ways for you to play with it. Hope you have fun. Feel free to reach out with questions. Namaste.